Hi there, and welcome to this new Focus Friday video. My name is Dutch Reefer, and we will be discussing a new topic today, and that topic is planning a Reefscape change. So, if you have a reef tank, then you are very much aware that once in a while you want to spice things up a little bit and change your Reefscape, your rock work. I think it's a thing we all like to do, I hope at least, otherwise you might have chosen the wrong hobby. It's an intensely frustrating process once you get started, but it's also a very rewarding process if it works out. So today I will be showing you some of the plans that I have for doing a Reefscape, and also show you a few bits that I have already changed. And my plans regarding those parts, and of course show you the stuff that I'm gluing it with, since that's an important part of doing your Reefscape is how you attach the rocks to each other. So I'll show you as well, at least how I'm doing it, how I have been doing it for the past 5 years. So let's get started. A couple of things I have already changed. This part has remained the same largely. This part I have made some changes to. So I have slightly raised this part, since this was on the ground before, so I put 2 rocks underneath it. These 2 rocks are still not attached to anything, so it's just 2 loose rocks with this piece on top. Of course, this has been glued together before. It came from my old tank, so that's pretty sturdy. Same goes for this part. I still have to change this up a bit, raise this part a little higher so that the fish can swim underneath it. Creates a nice little see-through. And in general, overall, this part of the tank has been raised quite a bit, although there's still a lot more ground to cover. I could still easily raise it another 10 centimeters. But then again, changing your Reefscape when everything is already in there is always a bit of a hassle. So you have to be careful, plan ahead, don't do too much at once, and be patient as well. This view is a little less exciting. You cannot see a lot of changes. In fact, I quite like this view as it is right now, so not much changes needed there. I like the fact that the Duncan is on the corner, the big ass Duncan that you have been seeing in my videos for the past few years, since it's already been in there since practically day one, and it was just a little frag. And of course the Giesemann Aurora, which you have seen before as well. Really glad, by the way, that this is recovering the way it does. I was a bit afraid that it might not pull through, but seeing how much it extends again after moving it from my old tank, migrating it, it has been doing great. So really glad about that. Just a quick view of the new diadema sea urchin. I forgot the name last week, but it's definitely a spiky sea urchin called the diadema, I have to be careful that it won't eat the coralline algae that are on the pump itself. It's not so bad, but on the cables, I heard a story from a guy that said that the urchin chewed through the cable entirely while trying to remove or eat the calcium algae, coralline algae that's on there. So on this side you'll notice a little more changes already, while this part has remained largely the same. I just moved around this Montipora a bit, so I moved it up a little bit. It seems to like it, and I moved this Gorgonian a bit, and that also shows this hairy coral. I'm again not sure of the name. We call it I think monkey hair in Dutch, but I'm very sure that's not the English name for it. But as long as it remains on this rock, then it's fine. It's a quickly spreading coral, but it's a loose rock, so once it gets too close I can just move it slightly to the right so that it doesn't crawl over all the rocks in my tank, since that's what it typically does. So in order to get a little better flow here, since you can still see some cyano there, I'm planning on replacing this gyre with two regular round pumps, which there are holes for actually. So I'll keep the two gyres on the opposite side of the tank, and I'll install two regular power heads right there, so that there are 4 pumps, which will be sufficient for this tank. So oh wow, the image is getting pretty blue. There we are again. So this part of the tank is actually the part that I like most at the moment. Why? Well, because it's already becoming quite vertical, as opposed to a pile of rocks that it was just 2 weeks ago. So it was also quite easy, since I moved this middle part, which I showed you on the other side of the tank, that created some space, and then also raised this part up a little bit, which just creates an overall better view of the tank. And I think I will keep it this way, at least on this side, as you can also look through the tank from here pretty easily, and well, if there are fish underneath, then they will show up as well. Somehow this Goniopora has been doing a little poorly over the past few days, and it actually doesn't look very well, so I want to show you this as well. Not every coral always does very well, and well, this one, it's not end of life yet, but not sure. It has been doing actually pretty great for a few weeks, and now suddenly, yeah, not too good. Then also on this side, I fairly easy just put a piece of rock from this side of the tank, hey hello, to this pillar, and then also that way creating a swim through area for the fish, and yeah, making everything a little more open, and well, of course, better flow can come through it this way. So the plan that I have for the future is actually to remove all the rocks that are in this line of sight. So I want to make the right part of the tank a big island, then have something in the middle that's completely open towards the other side, and then again here build another big island here. That way creating a nice open view through the tank. It's actually a tip that I got from a reefer a few years ago. He had his tank designed, and also the guy who designed it said it's good to leave open spaces in the tank, since it also creates a nice sense of depth inside the tank. So that's quite a lot of talking from my side. Let's move on to the how do you attach the rocks to each other. I've laid it out here. So these are the products that I'm using to glue my stuff in the tank. On the left side you can see Reef Glue by Seacham. Not sponsored or anything, but I'm really glad that I found this glue. It's I've tried a lot of different glue brands, and this is by far the best that I've found. It's very easy to glue corals to your rocks. And then of course also glue little rocks together works perfectly fine. I once I glued an entire bridge together with this glue. Of course you need quite a lot. And then this stuff is used for attaching rocks together. It's a 2-component part. You have different brands. I'm using the DD since it's cheap, but it's around 5 to 6 euros in the grey one, and then 7 to 8 euros for the purple one. And then there's also other brands like Aquaforest, which sell the same stuff but just a few euros more expensive again, so around 10-12 euros. It's pretty easy, just mix it up, glue it together, and then use it to attach the rocks together. So it's already invisible here. It's very easy, not easy to show you, but right there is a bit of this purple glue. Yeah, it's just pretty easy, and I'll show you in an upcoming video how I'm actually gluing the stuff together. So that's it for now. I hope you liked the video. See ya.